All right, what is going on, YouTube? It's been too long. Got a lot to get you guys caught up on, so we're gonna get to it. First things first, been running a lot recently, but I can't say the same is true over the last month and a half. A lot of different things have happened, so gonna list them off. First, unfortunately, ran into a hip injury. It's really unique. I've had this happen to me once before when really trying to max out my clean. And then it happened to me again when I was doing a workout with a ton of wall balls in it. And then it happened again um, during a heavy clean. So I don't know. It depends on who you are. This might make sense to some people, might not. But when you do a heavy clean, at least for me, sometimes to really get underneath the bar, my squat stance will get a little bit wider. So like if I pulled it from the rack, my feet are directly underneath my shoulders. Sometimes when I clean, and especially when it's heavy, really only when it's heavy, my squat stance is like just a tad bit wider, like maybe an inch, couple inches. But what that does is it really, really opens up my hips and allows me to sink lower, which is why I probably do it. But it's causing so much pain and tightness in my right hip. And the other thing is usually when I do wall ball shots, again, I find that it's really easy to dip below parallel with a wider stance in my squat. So I find myself being a little bit wider than normal in my wall ball shots, but I'm finding that it really it causes this hip injury. So anyway, that's um, that hip injury had caused me to take it easy for a lot of the month of October into a little bit of November. And I continued to run, but my mileage, um, my coach Bryce and I, we kept it underneath 20 miles a week. So really just maintenance miles, majority of it being aerobic and really not pushing too much. My hip feels good now, so that's the good news. And the last couple of weeks, I have been running a lot more, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But then also, I got sick again, uh, just flu season. So my wife had it, she passed it to me. I was out for the count, luckily for only like 3 days. It wasn't longer than that. I've been traveling a lot for work. I'm actually traveling right now. I'm in Seattle. Um, so just a lot of different stuff. And then I had a tattoo that was scheduled as well. I know I'm listing off all of these lame excuses, but I'm just being very real with you guys because life's going to happen to you as well. But I got a tattoo and I didn't want to move it because it was a tattoo I'd been waiting on for a very long time. Took 2 days and the recovery, I took it very serious. I did not want to sweat, did not want anything to get ruined in the tattoo. Um, so that took me out for almost a week. So all that said, a lot has been going on, but nonetheless, we're still getting after it and life be lifing, but sometimes you got to put certain things on pause so other things can get done, but we are full send right now. So then, next topic, how do I feel right now? Where am I at with mileage? How am I feeling aerobically? How are my legs holding up? Things of that nature. So we'll go into a little bit of a check-in. So right now, how do I feel? I feel pretty good. My mileage now, I'm looking over at another sheet that I have. My mileage right now, I'm in the 40s. So last week I logged 43, 43 and 3/4 total mileage last week. In that, roughly 3 to 4 miles was speed work. The rest was zone two. The week before that, I hit 40 miles. The week before that, 34. So I really jumped from about 20 miles a month ago to 34, which I was a little concerned about because I do get injured from time to time, and it's usually from silly things that are preventable. And I really thought that I was like, maybe I'm pushing it too much, jumping from 20 to 34. Totally fine. My body adjusted to that. No big deal. So again, went from 34 to 40 to 43 and change. This week, we will be hitting 48 miles. So in the thick of it, it's December 9th. Got about 2 months until the Mesa Marathon that I'm running with a couple of buddies and the goal for that marathon. So we're going to talk goal a little bit. Um, Mesa is not going to be a BQ marathon. Never has been, and it's definitely not now, especially with some of the circumstances, some of the things that popped up recently um, in life. And that's no big deal. But I do think it could be a PR. So I'm hoping to run fast, and if training goes well, I think that I can go sub 320. It would be great to hit something in the neighborhood of a 315, so to get in the teens. Um, I'll nail down and get a little bit more tactical on what my goals truly will be. But my big thing about goals is I don't think that you necessarily just say something and therefore it'll happen. Like, um, things take work, things take time. And that's the biggest thing is I'm taking my training very seriously. I'm hitting these long runs. I'm hitting these interval sessions. I'm leaving no stone unturned, but it ultimately really isn't up to me when I go sub three. I really just have to let my training take place. I need to trust the process. And when it happens, it's going to happen. And that's why I'm doing this video series, right? So my big thing is I'm going to leave no stone unturned. I'm going to nail this training, and a couple weeks out from the marathon, I think I'll be able to know what some realistic and some stretch goals are based upon how my training's going. I liken this to, and I'm not comparing myself to these people, but like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. But like one of the things Kobe talks about is when he was in the league, his first couple years, his first 3 years, he struggled a bit. He People were making fun of Kobe for the shots he would take and the air balls that he would throw up. People forget about that. I mean, I hardly even knew about it. I was a kid back then, but still, it's like that was the type of player he was. But he was so ambitious, and he's quoted um, just in his third year, like just asking himself and wanting to know, like, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for me to be the man? For me to, be the best in the league? He wanted it so bad, and so that was his goal. He didn't say, "I'm going to be MVP by this date or this season." It was more of he knew what he wanted to achieve, and he knew at some point he was going to figure it out. He didn't know when. And that's really what I'm trying to get back to is I don't know how long this is going to take for me to qualify for Boston. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to run sub 3 hours, 255. I don't know how long this is going to take, but there's a lot of information out there, a lot of guidance out there. And so I'm going to listen to that information and I'm going to execute it, and we'll see. I'm the guinea pig. We'll see how long it takes. And we're going to go until I get it. Those are facts. Now, selfishly, I hope it happens this year. Might take longer than a year. So we'll see. But anyways, that's the sort of mindset that I feel like I have to have. And I know most of us are like the rest of us. I think that's the mindset that other people really need to have when you're chasing after Boston. It's not going to be on your terms necessarily. You just have to let the training determine how long it's going to take for you, and a lot of factors go into that. So that's the mindset that I've got. That's how we're moving forward. Um, so to get to 48 miles, we're running 5 times a week. Really focusing on having 2 days where I'm truly recovering and just doing some cross training. I am doing heavy squatting 2 times a week, and then I'm trying to hit my upper body with heavy um, pushing and pulling at least once a week. Because my biggest thing is I mentioned it in I think the first video, but I don't want my physique to change. I don't want to have a runner build. I want to I want to be strong. I want to have solid strength numbers and qualify for Boston. So that's one of my biggest things is I'm going to continue to strength train. And it's not a watered down version. Like I'm still getting after it, pushing and pulling and squatting. I will say that my squat still feels strong, but my upper body, I'm struggling. I definitely think that I've lost some strength, and that might be a combination of just a lot of wear and tear with the running, and then also being sick. Frankly, I took some time off of running and then strength training, so I think that my upper body has really been impacted more than my lower body. But I think I can get it back. That was just a feeling that I had in my last upper body session. Plan ahead. So Mesa Marathon in 2 months. That is going to be February 9th. Um, One of the biggest, coolest recent developments is my wife and I are pregnant and we're having twins. Twin boys, in fact. We're over the moon with joy, super pumped. Um, think about it every day. We've been trying for a while, and that's not what this video is all about. But we are so grateful, thankful, and happy. Um, but how that relates to this is, I was planning on running the Colorado Marathon, which is early May. The twins might be coming then. We think that they won't come until later May, but they could come that first week. Which, if I'm running and my wife goes into labor, she might kill me. So I really want to run that marathon, but I am not going to do it if it's going to cause obviously any issues. So my eyes are still on that marathon, and what I think I'll do is I'll train for that marathon nonetheless, but might have to make some audibles, some quick decisions as we get closer to May, depending upon how my wife's pregnancy is going. Beyond that, I do want to hit the tunnels, one of the tunnels marathons. So that'll be June, August, or September. I'm eyeballing maybe the August one. Um, yeah, I mean, downhill marathon, super fast course. Um, it's not. I'm hearing it's on a lot of packed gravel. It's a major net downhill. I hear that it's like a way for you to run a lot faster, and I know that there's a lot of like flack too, that there's a whole camp of people um, who disapprove of this marathon. But hey, look, it's still a BQ course, and I'll even say it here. I mean, I still think that like a sub 2:55 on that course is really fast, and I don't know how much like a net downhill really buys you, but even if I do hit that, like I would want to validate it with a flat course marathon after that. So I plan on running the tunnels marathons, but also some flat marathons after that as well. The ones that I have circled on my calendar are the Mill Race Marathon in my hometown in Columbus, Indiana. It's a BQ uh, flat course. Also have Chicago Marathon circled. Also have the Indianapolis Monumental Marathon circled. So, and I'm not running all of those, but they're all in that sort of fall time frame. And so I think that I might do one or two of those, again, depending upon how training is going. And I really think that those are going to be the potential true BQ marathons. But again, not trying to get ahead of myself. I have to stick to the training. My training will determine when I'm ready to qualify. But just selfishly, I hope that by the fall of 2025, I'll be able to qualify. So we'll see. But other than that, third video. I'm going to keep these pumping. And the other thing too is, as I'm making these videos, I am not releasing them immediately to YouTube. One of the things that I have really thought about and agree with is sometimes when you have an aggressive goal and you say that you're going to do it and you start broadcasting it to a whole bunch of people, people will already start to congratulate you or say, hey, that's awesome, give you a high five before you've even completed the feat. And I don't want that to get to my head. I don't want I don't want me saying, "Hey, I'm going to qualify for Boston in 2025," and then people immediately just like start high-fiving me and saying, "Hey, congrats, good job." Like I don't want to feel validated or done until it's done. Now, I will release these videos, but I want to release them deeper into my training blocks, maybe after the first marathon, maybe after the second marathon. But I want to be deep into my training blocks, really in a groove before I start um, sharing my progress, sharing my journey, because I know how my mind works, and I don't want people to congratulate me and then allow that to slow myself down. So this is just me knowing me. These videos are going to have a little bit of a lag, but nonetheless, this content is going to come out, and I'm excited to share it with you all. So I'll keep the videos coming, and we'll get after it.